Mayday, Mayday. In this episode of Stay Human America, daring Democrats take to the streets of Prescott Valley, better known as Trump Valley, Arizona to most, to rally for equal housing, healthcare, fair wages, union protection, and safety. Join me and Maddox, my French Bulldog, on the picket line on our liberal quest to uncover the truth about this so-called Trumpy town. Meet 60s hippies, retirees, a school cafeteria cook, veterans, a firefighter, even registered Republicans whose loyalties now lie with the truth rather than their own party. Even a drumming grandma determined to bring back democracy. Make no mistake, MAGAs. 250 plus passionate yet peaceful Prescott Valley protesters are reclaiming their power, and they will not be intimidated. Yavapai County Democratic Party and Democratic women of the Prescott Area stand united. Keep your ears open for honks from confirmatory cars and revved up road rage right-wing engines, passively aggressively voicing their distaste for our free speech. I'm here in Trump Valley at the rally. See how it goes. Where are all your people?
Well, no, I'm glad I'm here. I'm no use for Democrats.
You're brave.
Yes.
I'm a freelance writer.
What?
I'm a writer, and I'm just covering everything. And do you live in Prescott Valley?
Yes, I do.
And
I've been in Prescott area since I got out of the Navy in 1970. I've lived out here for quite a few years.
Thank you for your service. And you obviously voted for Trump.
What's that?
You voted for Trump.
Yes, I did.
And you still believe in him?
I've seen him when he's been here. I've been in the audience.
Was he?
Democrats are not giving him a chance on what's going on right now.
Where?
They're interested in keeping the illegals here.
Yeah, and my mom lives here. She's a Trump supporter. I'm more on the liberal side, but I'm just writing about people's viewpoints and trying to understand the different sides, because there's a different side to every story.
I do have my family. I got a sister who lives down here in Joey. She's a Republican, her husband, and I got some good friends Republicans. But I have a son that's 43. He used to live here, but now he lives in Mesa.
Uh-huh.
But him and I have had our battles because he's hated Trump. We've fought this for a long time.
Okay. How do you navigate that type of relationship?
Right now, we had a big argument in February that really was bad.
Yeah.
He hates him so much. I couldn't take it. I had to jump down on him.
Yeah. So you're
now
not.
I've calmed down. My sister and I, when I talk to him now, no politics involved when I talk to him.
Yeah, I think that's how a lot of families.
Family. I can't do that with my son.
Yeah, that's what my family and I try to do, because every time we talk, we get into arguments. So we love each other. We just don't necessarily like each other's point of view. Well, thank you. What was your name?
Jim.
Tim. I'm Mary.
Tell me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like!
A product of the 60s and the 70s. The young lady over there with the flag jacket.
I love that.
That jacket is 40, 50 years old. That's my
amazing.
wife,
Oh, that is your wife?
Yeah,
So
and
cool.
we protested against
This
the
lady
war.
was talking about the same thing. That's the last time she protested. Vietnam?
Yeah, it's our rights are being taken away. It's slowly but surely they're being chipped away.
Yeah.
What we have going for us. My skin's white. My eyes are brown, but we all came
our
from
thoughts
someplace.
Are against.
This man right here. Science is fact.
Yeah, a lot of defunding in science.
It's ridiculous, you know.
What was your name?
Mark.
Mark, I'm Mary.
Hey, Mary.
This is Maddox.
I'm sorry, who?
My name's Mary and this is Maddox.
Maddox.
He comes with me to all the...
Yes, I
Do you
know.
have any experience with relationships and navigating Trump supporters here, since it's...
Most of my neighbors are Trump supporters.
Do you talk to them? Or avoid them?
Some do. Some don't know boundaries, you know. And if your boundaries supersede mine, that's not right. You know, it'd be like me standing right here, getting right in your face.
Close
You know, and it's just, no, I mean, you're backing up. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You know.
And they get in your face?
Some do. Some dislike us just because we're liberal trash.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Liberal flakes.
It's, you know, my wife had posted something once about no political signs, and she got called a liptard. Like, what the you know, it's...
All kinds of puns and terminologies now.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
What does liberal mean to you?
Well, it's... In this day and age, it's really difficult.
I know.
Liberal to me it's like the golden rule. You know, do unto others as you would do unto whoever. You know, it's immigration. I mean, all of us came here, you know, the majority of us. You know, it's like I was told growing up that I was part, you know, Native American. Well, I'm part Jewish, I found out.
Oh.
You know,
I love
and
the
it's, you know, I don't know. It's frustrating to see what's happening because it's being eroded. You know, I mean, we could have, you know, what do they call it, martial law?
Uh-huh.
You know, and it just takes an executive action.
Yeah.
And it could be in effect until we get it thrown out.
Yeah.
But what happens in the meantime?
I'm so glad that we're able to be out here and not suppressed or...
Oh, yeah, I'm really glad nobody's driven by and opened up, you know, with a firearm.
Yeah.
You know?
And
we all think about that.
I was a little hesitant to come down here, but I'm like, this is where everyone needs to be.
You know, I mean, I did it in the 60s and 70s for something that I strongly believed in, which was the war in Vietnam.
And then we didn't have to worry about taking ID and our medical cards with us in case you get shot.
You know, and it's, you know, you're guilty by the way you look.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean,
that's true.
That's not right. You know, we're deporting people without due process. We're deporting citizens, you know.
We are disappearing them.
Yeah.
Which ones? He's deporting brown ones.
Yeah.
You know, and then he's, at the same time, he wants white people to have babies and pay him for it. You know?
It's all nonsensical.
What is going on?
I'm just really glad that there's some outcry here because it's an area that's very, very polarized.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I had no idea what it would be like when I moved out here. I've been out here 12 years. And
has it changed?
Huh?
Has it changed or kind of always been?
Oh, I'm just shocked that it's so Trumpy.
Yeah. Trump Valley, right?
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't either. But I think what happened with a lot of the elections is Trump came here and he paid a lot of attention to these rural areas where the Democrats just glossed over them. And a lot of people felt like left out, you know?
Honey.
It was a woman running for president.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
I mean, two women, right? Like, throw Bernie in
I
here.
had two girls. I'm well trained. I put the toilet seat down. You know?
I don't think America's ready for a woman president.
They need to be.
I would love them to be. But get Trump out with a man, and then we can go from there.
Yes, and also I hear that Buttigieg is making a splash in the waters for 2028.
And you guys grew up in the 60s with Vietnam and protests, and
We did. This is not my first rodeo.
Is it rekindling those feelings of angst and need to speak out?
I'm really surprised that democracy has lasted as long as it has.
Uh-huh.
I'm really surprised, but I didn't think it was going to go down quite as quick in 100 days.
You're the first person to say that. That's really interesting.
Uh-huh. Most countries, democracy doesn't survive, and ours has survived over 250 years. I mean, we had it. But for some reason, the root of evil here is money.
Do you think that the political system, how it's divided red and blue, is orchestrated to keep people apart and polarized, and this is how Trump has gotten into power?
This is how
people want something new.
This is how democracy is always destroyed. It's always destroyed through separating people. Separating people and not letting people. Our government. It's all ran by the oligarchy. It's all ran by the oligarchy. It's all ran by. These people out here right now.
Uh-huh.
They, that are driving through, that are flipping us off and giving us the finger. They may have a couple of 100,000 in their bank account. They have no idea what rich is in America. They have no idea what rich is.
How many fingers have you gotten so far?
Oh, I would say at least 30.
Really?
Yeah,
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
In Sedona, we maybe get a handful.
Really?
A little calmer out here, but it's such a polarized MAGA area that I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was at a rally in Prescott the other week, and I got attacked verbally by a woman and a man.
You did?
Yes.
What did they say?
They wanted to talk. They wanted me to react. They were saying, slang words to me and all this, and how I needed to get a life, and how I needed this and this and this. I just walked by him, and then I walked by him again, and then I walked by him again, and I didn't make eye contact.
Good for you. So it was a rally like this.
Yes.
And there was a lot more MAGA.
There was a lot. They tried to. The Democrats had a permit to have to have the rally there at the courthouse, and they infiltrated the whole rally.
Wow.
And
so somebody got tipped off, right?
Yeah.
Got it. Because I know
and they were carrying guns too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they had guns.
That's really scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad that isn't happening here.
Yes.
Because I spoke to a couple people in Sedona, and they're like, we're not going down there. But this is where you need outreach the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's out here doing this. I think it's just like the sign says here,
What does it say?
It says, but what can I do? I am just one person, 7 billion. You can butt out here and flip a sign at people, and they go, okay, there's a lot of people that think we can do this.
Yeah, so you're really speaking to complacency and lack of having a voice. I think the worst is not having any opinion at all.
Right.
Or pretending to have one and just being uneducated about it.
Just sitting at home thinking, it'll just go away. It's just a phase. This is not a phase.
We're both liberals. We are really upset about what's happening in society. Like I mentioned, I come from Southern California. I've been there for 20 years and moved here, and it's really shocked me to see the polarization and the breaking up of friends and family. Some people are able to navigate it through silence and avoidance. Just wondering, what your experience is.
Because I don't want to choose them according to their religion or their race for their politics.
I like to hear that.
And even
What kind of do they reveal what news sources or what kind of information they're consuming?
what do you think? I mean,
Fox.
they only listen to Fox News and
That's-
anything Fox.
So Fox is too left for my mother now. Handmade protest signs are one way to creatively express your political angst. Fashion, yet another. A few of my favorite fashions hitting the protest streets: a snazzy vintage flag blazer, custom-made patriotic bowling shoes that say, "It's up to us," with the earth and flag merged together. And an aliens abducting Trump t-shirt. It reads, "Saving the galaxy one loser at a time." Thanks, Mark.
But it's
Okay, so we have Trump here, and then we have a broken United States. Oh, there's so many metaphors
yeah,
here.
they are. The whole thing is.
And did you draw all of that?
No, I found these online.
Okay. Very, very cool. Everybody has their own way of expressing their distaste for the president. Have you noticed a big change in Prescott Valley since you've moved here, Nancy?
Since I've moved here, I don't get out much. I don't drive.
Well, you're out here today showing your
I
support.
had to.
Yeah,
When I saw this
Wonderful.
was closed, I made my roommate bring me.
I love it.
He's a Republican.
Oh, really? He dropped you off? That's very kind of him.
Dropped me off with my sign.
So one thing I'm exploring in my angle is learning about how people are navigating relationships in a very polarized community, state, nation. So you and your roommate are able to get along despite your differences?
Well, that's the funny thing. He supports. I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to bump you.
He just wants free pets.
Yeah, I'm afraid if I try to bend down, I'll.
No, you don't have to.
He's hard to get along with sometimes because he's so into everything.
He is. Would you consider him MAGA?
He's teetering on the edge, yes, I think. But yesterday, I talked to my girlfriend in Ohio that I've been friends with for over 50 years.
Uh-huh.
And she's a Republican.
Okay.
And not a problem.
Are you guys able to talk about what's going on, or do you avoid it?
We try to, we avoid it to a certain extent. And if it veers in that direction, one or the other will say, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And then try to change the conversation to
Okay.
something else.
Well, that's great.
I'm standing for human rights.
Yeah.
Immigrants, women's rights, people's rights to have their Medicaid and their Medicare. Children can go to school. Children who are disabled can still go to school and be treated with kindness.
Yeah.
I'm a cafeteria cook at Lincoln Elementary School. And I do not want to see these children suffer. And I don't want people to lose their Medicaid. I want women's rights given back to them.
Right.
Immigrants are people too. And we are all immigrants, therefore, and America was built on immigrants. Think about it, right? We are all immigrants, so it was built on immigrants. It needs to stay that way.
What is it like living here where there's a lot of MAGA?
I am not comfortable here. My husband moved me here 3 years ago from Las Vegas, Nevada, and because he loved Prescott, he used to live here.
Okay.
We had no idea it was this bad.
I wonder if it's gotten worse. And your sign says, "America was built on immigration. Stop hate. Immigrants are people. Democracy, not autocracy." MAGA in...
Inhumane. It's inhumane.
I was actually just going to ask you what MAGA means to you, and you have a clear
MAGA?
definition right there. MAGA is
MAGA
inhumane.
means what they say it means.
Yeah.
But to me, it means devil. And if you look it up in the BBC, the British dictionary or encyclopedia, MAGA means devil.
Wow,
It
I did not know
means,
that.
look it up. It means like a devil or a witch, or like I forgot exactly the meaning, but it doesn't mean anything good.
What about the term woke?
But to them, woke means to me means you're. I just found out what that means. It means you are I don't know, you're left-leaning. Yeah. You're about people.
Yeah.
You're about immigration is okay, and we're all immigrants. So everything that we are is woke, I guess.
I was an artist, and it was during the time of Maplethorpe.
Oh, that's right.
And everybody was using the flag. It was the Tiananmen Square, and everybody was using the flag and walking on the flag and burning the flag.
Very true.
And my dad was a World War II veteran, and he said that there was this artist that put a flag in the museum somewhere, and I can't remember where the museum was, but on the floor, and he said, and his statement was, "You can do anything to this flag you want, and you won't destroy it." Wow. And my dad didn't see the symbolism there. And I said, "Dad, you can't." And then they wanted to put an amendment on the flag. The government, our government, wanted to put an amendment on the flag. And I said, "You can't put an amendment on freedom, Dad. You can't do it. Then it's not freedom."
Right.
And he marched off into his bedroom, and then he came back out and he said, "You're right."
That's gave me chills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got the story wrong, so you can tell.
But you jogged her memory about a story, because it's so hard for people to say, you know what, I was wrong, and
It is.
you were right.
And they can't do it now. And these people now, they can't do it. They see all these horrible things that not just Trump is doing, but there's a lot of people in this cult. A lot of people in this cult.
Do you mean MAGA?
Yes, in MAGA. But I mean, there's a lot of money. The oligarchy is alive and well in our government right now.
Have you heard of the cryptocurrency?
Yes.
I call Trump the crypto king now.
Yes.
And I've never in the history of America have seen a president profit from his presidency while he is the president. Is he for the people? I don't think so. Yeah.
He's the person that we knew.
It's a
growing
business
up
to
in the
him. And it's a business to him, and he doesn't even run businesses well. Like, with 7 bankruptcies and, like, daddy's money, I'm sorry.
I follow this person in Seattle right now.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I need a dock.
That's so sweet.
Right now, the docks in Seattle are just vacant. There are ships that are in, and they're not going out, and there's nothing coming in.
Because of the tariffs?
Because of the tariffs.
And all those workers are just...
And all those workers are not.
Let alone small businesses. They're importing all their goods.
It's going to hit here. It's going to hit here fast. And right here. Because, this is...
Very good.
This is, we don't have a port here. So, it's, what's there isn't going to... It's going to... I give it 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
So you anticipate it getting worse?
Yes.
I anticipated it getting much worse. Much worse.
I just, like, going back to the flag, I love to see it as a symbol of freedom, because I feel like the right and MAGA has used it as a symbol of what they stand for.
And Gulf of America. Give me a break.
Do you notice, like, at least publicly, they're not out? Because I only saw one pro-Trump person here, and I talked to him, but
she gets on Facebook quite a bit, and she has a lot of people that she knows that were real pro-Trump.
They have really
scaled back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, scaled back their talking, because I'm trying to figure out if people are actually turning.
Well, we're registered Republicans.
That's so interesting.
I've never really stuck to one.
Good for you.
I like to view it for what it is and who's
Elon changes his mind all the time.
But I won't take after.
So your sign says, "We the people care about our jobs, healthcare, environment, social security, education, world relations, and no oligarchy." Wow, it's a mouthful, but it's true.
Yep.
Is there something specific in there that has affected you personally, or are you out here to represent all the people that it's hurt?
Well, I have a niece who works for the Environmental Protection Agency, and she has
In
lost
DC?
a job in Washington.
Okay.
In Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Washington. She's lost her job.
Recently,
Yes.
because of the defunding and
Yes.
the Doge and all that.
Yes. And so yeah, I just and
How long was she working for them?
she was working for them for about 7 years.
That's sad.
And so also I just feel like all of these cuts are about deregulating. And when they're deregulation, it means that things that billionaires want to push through do not have to go through regulations. Their money can push it through without having regulations, appropriate scientific research done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep eyes and ears open. We'll be out here again, hopefully in a few weeks.
Thank you.
Very well organized. And so she's laid off, currently looking for alternative work. I mean, what other kinds of areas can she
She's
go
an
into?
environmental scientist, and so everything she has done and learned, her
All the
degrees,
research.
everything has been about the environment.
So she has her PhD.
No, she has her master's.
Master's.
And so, I don't know what she's doing. I know right now she's just so depressed. I think she's been flattened by everything that's happening. And so,
Imagine.
I just want to do something. And
I love to hear that you're out here for her and for all the people.
they're losing their jobs. I mean, at Homeland Security, they were going in the door with their badges were taken away at the door
Wow.
when they were walking in. I mean, and I've got several members on my family who are disabled, and they have Social Security, and everything is so scary. They don't do technology. They're crippled. They can't go into so they don't have cars. They can't go into an office. I mean, so many people in my family are affected by what's happening here.
I think the tariffs are we're going back to the 1890s.
And into a recession.
It's not a depression.
Right.
And anyway, and the other thing is shipping the prisoners down there to El Salvador.
Without due process.
Without due process. Both of those.
Against judges' orders.
Staff is, instead of being the best competent, he had some competent guys the first time.
Yep.
But he hated them.
Uh-huh.
And he thought those guys held him back. He got guys who are like yes men, who come in there and Trump says jump and they say how high.
Yeah. I bet you Elon was probably his only resistance, because Elon is intelligent and.
But if you put in $260 million, you can be intelligent.
Yeah.
I'm very disturbed with what's going on.
Yeah.
So disturbed that I'm out here doing this, and I haven't been doing this since like the 60s.
Really?
So, unfortunately, what's happening in our country is just so scary.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, this man, he's a monster. He's like Hitler in the 30s. I don't know if you watch much history.
How quickly we forget it.
That's the problem, and he's trying to get rid of history. Ignore it.
Yeah, I started rereading 1984, George Orwell, and they're ordered to rewrite history. it's like almost Trump took that as his strategy because now there's like no truth. Everything's misinformation, and people are skeptical about anything.
Yeah,
and
his whole campaign was built on lies. You know, he said he was truthful about tariffs. You know, that and immigration.
True. And that's the one thing people thought he was fibbing about, right? Like, that he's not going to.
Oh, but
tariff
from the first term, he's going to do everything he says he's going to do, and worse.
Right.
But he said he didn't know anything about Project 2025. And day one, he's starting it. He released 1,500 criminals on the day that they tried to overthrow the government.
Right.
You know, I mean, why? It's just happening.
In the 60s, were you protesting here, or did you live elsewhere?
No, I got transplanted to Los Angeles when I was really young.
Okay.
So I kind of mostly grew up there, from the Midwest to there.
The blissful bubble of California.
Yeah.
You need to watch your language, okay?
We bark. He says we.
Oh, he doesn't snort. He doesn't bark. So what was that like in the 60s?
Well, I think there, because California is it's like the United Nations, you know.
Yeah.
People are very accepting there.
They are.
What's happening, you can't just stand on the side.
Right.
It's too important what's happening here.
Do you have any interactions with neighbors, friends, family that are MAGA or Trump supporters? Are you able to talk to them? Or
No, they shut down. Nobody wants. It's like everybody's hiding, except them. They want hiding.
Well, I'm surprised there's not more of them. I feel like they are in hiding.
Of them.
But where are they? I mean, I see one.
In Prescott, every Tuesday, they're out on the corner
of
Cortez and Gurley. Every Tuesday for like the last 5 years.
Well, thank you. So they'll be there this Tuesday?
Probably. Because I imagine that they wouldn't be.
I feel like people here are so open and honest about talking to me about stuff, but I want to get their point of view, and it's hard to find them.
Yeah. Well, my husband did canvassing for the election from like July to the end of October, or actually into November. And so he knows a lot more.
Okay.
Talk to more people. But, you know, mostly they just flip you off or curse you out or, you know, stuff like that. We have a neighbor that put this huge banner, this huge Trump banner on one of their railings that only faced our house.
Oh my God.
You know.
That's so passive aggressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have an HOA president that is a Trump supporter, and she waves all kinds of flags and bumper stickers, and good for her if that's what she believes in, and so I'm starting to, I put out a sign yesterday from a rally on Saturday in Sedona that it just says "Take action, America," and then the next day I saw it on the ground. I don't think she did it. I just, there's that kind of like fight.
I had a bumper sticker on my car, and I went to the grocery store and I came out and somebody had taken a Trump sticker and put it right in my eyesight on my windshield.
Really?
I was so angry.
Do you know what it said?
It was something Trump, I don't know, Trump BS.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
that's crazy.
It's like nobody else has a right to say anything except them.
It's like a graffiti, Yeah, I see a lot of Team Trump
all
bumper
about
stickers.
respecting people's boundaries.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Can I see your humankind be both sign? What is your name?
Juan?
Juan. And do you live here, Juan?
Yes, I've been living here, yeah.
In Prescott Valley?
Prescott Valley.
How long?
For 7 months now.
Okay, where did you move from?
California. Here, we love like the people here and everything. Everyone's so nice and great.
Really?
For the most of the
really
people
great
there.
to hear.
Yeah.
I expected something worse, like MAGA on one side yelling at us and us trying to like be peaceful protesters, but I'm not seeing that.
I mean, I mean, thankfully, there's not too many counter-protesters. Like, I've heard that they can be pretty violent or getting into your personal space, but so far, so good today. And yeah, when I first moved out here, I did experience my first racism.
You did?
So, yeah, I was doing nothing but picking up food for my family. And it just so happened, two males just walking out of the restaurant and just noticing me in my car. And
Really?
just said, I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, they said some racial slurs, and they're on the older side, so I let it.
Unprovoked,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it just naturally happened, and I was like, I totally expected that happening in LA, where there's a lot more
So shocking.
violence. Yeah, so I was like,
I'm sorry that happened to you.
totally okay. I let it slide. I know the history and everything, and I have the idea where they're coming from. It's just a matter of just being courteous and polite. Hopefully it spreads, and they can kind of see.
It seems like such an archaic belief system to have racism still around. I think we all have like misconceptions, just like me thinking, Prescott Valley is a bunch of MAGA, violent, and I'm not seeing that here. I'm seeing a lot of positive people that are humans.
Oh yeah, I mean, despite when I first moved out here, I saw some signs for like on the 69, like Californians go back. I was kind of surprised to see that.
My sister says that living in Scottsdale, like, quit moving here and making our state blue. I'm like, you did the same thing.
I was just like, I know the history. You guys all came from California too.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I see their standing point only because I can see both sides. I always do try to put, their shoes on from their side to see their point of view.
I'm glad to see that you haven't lost your empathy.
No, yeah.
Woo! They were here, that couple, they
Oh, yeah.
They were like, last time they protested was Vietnam in the 60s, so.
Oh,
There's a lot of conservative podcasts out there, and I think there needs to be more of an angle about human empathy and how it's affecting people on a personal level. So that's kind of what I've been covering is, what people are out here fighting for, and also how it's affected their relationships with people that think differently.
I couldn't agree more, and that's what it's all about is compassion for outgroups. This ultimately is not about fighting Trump. It's about trying to engender a government that is actually can help people, help people that are down and out, and especially in America, but all around the world. So it's, if that's not what your basic, if that's not what you're all about, I don't know what the hell you're doing,
Yeah. Do you have any experiences with
I'm over here-ish.
severed relationships or difficult relationships with Trump supporters here?
There's where I used to work, everybody was Trump supporters, and I was the only one that wasn't. A firefighter, and then also in construction.
Okay, yeah.
And everybody else were Trump supporters. That was I got along well with everybody, and we'd have discussions, we'd have arguments also. But I got along with people. Yeah, it's horrible to see, and to a one, every single person I'm talking about, they're all brainwashed. They believe many things that aren't true are true. They believe many things that are true aren't true. Because they want them to be true. That's why. That's what I found consistently. If someone...
Do you think also, the information they're consuming, too?
Exactly.
I've noticed with my family that words have so many different meanings. MAGA to me is a cult. MAGA has a negative connotation to them. It's empowering America to, bring back jobs and deport criminals and and then woke, that now our platform of diversity and acceptance for no matter what sexuality, race you are, is now turned into you're forcing sexuality on my heterosexual children.
Right. Which never made any sense.
So yeah, just wondering if you have those kinds of conversations with your family and what MAGA means to you here.
No, I don't have those kinds of conversations with my family. And I know conversations I would have with coworkers typically would be like, I wasn't very good at communicating ideas, I don't think, and neither were they. And they would usually just be arguing about facts. But it never got to the deeper thing, which was an emotional need that that they had. I would argue, obviously it sounds self-serving to say this, but they had an emotional need for their lies that they believe to be true.
Right.
Whereas I am a lot more objective than that. Again, it sounds really self-serving, but it's also a true statement that I actually am.
Well, when you have a president that repeats lies and then believes them, and people, I don't know why society makes it so impossible to say that you're wrong or that you changed your mind about something, or you just don't know. And so that I think that there's a lot of that there too.
No, totally. I mean, that's what it's all about. Ego. It's all about that, like.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I found that, Trump supporters are dug in.
You consume books, podcasts.
Yes, all the above. My main news, daily news, I'll get from NPR News and BBC.
Okay. And this is a question for everyone, but also for me, like, because I'm mainly getting my sources from books and the New York Times, but I want like more sources.
There's a great podcast called the Ezra Klein podcast.
I do listen to him.
Oh, you do too?
Yeah, I listen to like all their podcasts because, and I think that was part of the inspiration for the podcast I'm starting, because they boil politics down on an individual level and they tell these stories of people, and you can relate to them. I think when you talk about politics in such an abstract way, it loses its essence. It's real. People are losing their jobs and being disappeared and all these things, and they're not conceptual.
I know a lot of people, I think, like I've heard someone say, it's like people don't think reality is real.
The president took a strong liking to this rural part of the country, hosting huge radically red campaign rallies for 2020 and this most recent election. What I expected to confront anger, hostility, and possible violence from radical groups like the Proud Boys and Lions of Liberty was mostly the exact opposite. Part of me knows I'm lucky. One protester told me that just last week they stormed another Democratic protest with guns and verbal assaults in the Prescott area. For this rally, the MAGAs are conspicuously missing, and I'm determined to find them elsewhere. Even if they're hiding out in a creepy, dingy, deeply discounted Trump train store. One rallier tipped me off to a Trump merchandising store nearby, but when I pulled up to said coordinates, all I found was an empty parking lot with trash MAGA signs and Trumpy bumper stickers next to cardboard boxes. A padlocked building with nothing but a faded sticker of Trump's head on the opaque window and a sign of the store's relocation. When I finally find the place, one of the owners, Ann, claims Addicted to Deals was relocated from the Prescott Valley Gateway Mall because the building owner was a bitch. Since now she's in debt because of all this, she says, because of the move. She insults the influx of Californians coming to her valley, despite my confession that I'm one of them. 90% of her discount store clientele, she confesses, are Trump supporters. She proudly boasts this. Aside from expired snacks thrown on shelves alongside a bunch of other crap is Trump paraphernalia. Hats, pins, signs, and life-size cutout of Trump himself right by her register, with a triumphant bandage covering his left ear. Other than that, it seemed pretty minuscule, like there wasn't much inventory left. Let's see what Yelpers have to say about this Trump dump. Roxanne from Phoenix. They had racist products. The food they were selling was old and expired. Shady business. Thomas. Scary place! Exclamation point. Filled with hate propaganda. I get an eerie feeling in that store. You and me both, Thomas. Eduardo. Surprisingly from San Francisco? Love the true Americanism with all the Biden-hating accoutrements. Fantastically satisfying Trump stickers. Sponsored pink neon hat with a generously placed I Heart Trump bedazzle pin on the right side of this said hat. In the back, there are a plethora of metal signs, house items, car toys, candy, tampons, Trump supporting shirts. Nice product placement. Eduardo continues. 10 out of 10 personality coming from both the owner and his wife. Low star reviews are written by the democratically blinded lizard people of our artificial society and reality. Don't trust these mind-controlled idiots. They only strive to push you away from a fun experience. Eduardo, were we at the same place? Finally, he says, a taste for the right-wing party here. I'm not sure right-wing people would even like this place. Jake J. from Arizona. As soon as I entered the store, I immediately wanted to leave. Same, Jake. I quickly got out of there and have never gone back. This is quite possibly one of the worst places to do shopping here. One more final comment from the co-owner, Monty P., who lives in Quartz, Arizona. We were in the Prescott Gateway Mall for 4.5 years. They decided they didn't want a discount store in the mall. We are now in Prescott Valley. Really, Monty? You would have us, the public, believe that it was the deep discount for customers and not the racist bigotry you were shelling out that got you kicked out, evicted from the mall. My name's Mary.
And I'm Mo.
And this is Maddox. You already met him. And so you said like the last store had a lot of Trump merchandise, and they just relocated, right? So
right.
They'll have a lot more.
Oh yeah, that's that thing next. He's probably grabbing it all. They have so much in the other store that I'm not sure they can get it all in this.
Do you know where he gets it from?
No.
Yeah, maybe I can ask her if I can talk to the owner.
You've never seen a collection of Trump stickers in your life.
Really?
I bought,
What's your favorite one? Or do you have any on your car?
No. I don't put in. I used to put stickers on my car, but no, I give them away.
Okay.
To people that put them on there. But
Did you take them down for a reason, or you just don't?
Did I take them down? No, I just don't want I used to not mind, but I just don't want the attention. Because that's what it does. And if I'm doing something wrong as an old man and the cop sees me, he's going to notice the van with the Trump stickers, or I'm a big gun advocate. I have a collection of stickers.
That's smart.
But you ask Ann, when's the Trump stuff coming out? Her name is Ann. She's the owner, her and her husband. And
yeah, I mean, I forgot. It didn't occur to me to ask my mom because she's got Trump earrings and a big thing she sips out of, and everyone gets stuff from Amazon these days. Yes. But it's nice to have like a physical store that you can go into.
Right. You can actually physically look it over and handle it, But I was over at his store just a week or so ago, and I was asking him. His name's Monty. I've known him 10, 15 years. Monty.
Yeah. Okay.
And I asked him, when are you moving? And he said, I should be there by next weekend. So this could be their second or third day open, or maybe their first. but they've been loading it up and moving it over. They're incredible people. They're in their 70s, and they work their butts off.
And it's probably a good location. From what I know, this area does skew a bit conservative. Is that
very.
And you live here in
Yes.
Prescott Valley?
I moved from LA, which is extremely liberal.
It is.
To an extremely conservative, and that's me. You know, because
so you feel like more at home here.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. And my daughters, they live down in the valley, and that's extremely liberal, and they're like me. But anyway, they're going to get mad at me.
Okay, well,
They
it's nice.
have no patience with me. You know? I said, well, you're going to be old one day, you know.
And you're still a Trump supporter, like
Big time.
with everything that's happening.
Oh yeah, because like 100 days they expect him to save the world, but he's done so many things that I like already. And then you got to remember, or you don't got to do anything, but a lot of people are still pushing and working against him. And I'm just thinking, give the man 6 months. Let's see where we're at. He's been in 100 days, and he's already done some pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they live near the border. You know, they live down in Phoenix. That's not far. And they've noticed a major change. And we're not prejudiced. I raised them to be just the opposite. But it's the crime and some of the things that they're doing that just tears me up, because I'm very sensitive and I don't like crime. And you know, over here, everybody owns guns.
Yeah.
Crime is low here because if somebody breaks in, they might get shot.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone likes crime. I think the concern is deporting and disappearing people that aren't criminals.
Well, that's a discussion topic, because even if they're not, technically they are, because they came here illegally. They broke a law. But I don't think they're going to go to where they're going places and pulling people out that haven't done anything. They're going after the bad guys, at least as of now.
Yeah, I mean, they have done have made a few mistakes.
Well, don't forget, Obama shipped out a lot more than Trump ever has, but nobody knows it. That kind of news doesn't get out.
Yeah, and I think that he didn't have a zero tolerance policy. There was like some checks and balances, but I really appreciate your candor and your ability to talk through things, because that's what's missing, I think, in America is civil conversation and respect.
And to agree to disagree agreeably.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Nice to meet you.
You give somebody a story about somebody, and all of a sudden they get emotional about it, and then they can better grasp the truth.
Yeah.
But then you tell them like facts, and people don't have the moral imagination to recognize that is.
But it translates to
conscious beings, human beings, or other animals that are suffering because of that. And there's nothing more real than suffering. So what can we do to reduce suffering and increase well-being for conscious creatures, you know?
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you. I mean, people they hear like facts and figures, and then they don't realize they're fighting about well-being and suffering.
Having Hatred's heartland turn into a valley of love, trust, respect, compassion, and empathy on this May Day strong event is a silver lining amongst the darkness that's been cast over this community for far too long. Thanks for listening to Infiltrating Trump Valley. Stay human, America.